whatever, booting up my computer. Um, I, um, I'm still reeling over the phone call earlier. I just feel really numb, but I want to talk about my like Madonna screenplay and neurodivergent and so forth. So I I talked with a friend after that, a close friend from childhood after that, and he brought up neurodivergent, and it's not a bad thing. And I grew up presuming that all people thought in a similar way, or they just naturally thought the way I do. And um, it's been very painful. It's been the one painful thing that I've lived through. Um, learning, learning. Remember discovering. That's not it. Just in case anybody wants to chat with me. Is this how? No, that's not how. Anyway, this is that's the green screen. Darn. I How do you turn it off? It's distracting. Okay, good. Well, at least I'm learning more about it. Anyway, back to my story. And I told him that I wish that well, it's so frustrating. He's experienced similar thing himself that it is frustrating talking with people who um, don't seem to be able to um, think in an allegorical way or be able to associate or find commonality between one thing and another or think in an abstract way. People are very literal in interpreting things. Um, and it's caused me a lot of pain. Um, just wondering how. Okay, I guess nobody. Okay, so I guess nobody's chatting right now. Anyway, so that takes me to this Madonna project, and what inspired it was really going to college. It was right after this experience I had with someone where it was misunderstanding and it was my first real, aside from being picked on in school, it's the first real painful, um, seemingly failed attempt at relationship with somebody. And then I went to college and it was also painful because other people were just it was after high school, everybody I know had gone. I've been familiar with in school as much as I didn't like it. Um I wouldn't be seeing them, and it's like it felt to me like Siberia. Um, and this was August. I started. I started school early, I guess, in August, and this was in '94. And then I I developed this. Have you ever felt like this before? I developed this like angel will come and rescue me feeling. Um, and I'm trying to place where it is with, oh, hi, um, Marcelino Corona. Hi, um, Putak PM Real. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Um, it's good to know that there are people out there actually watching me. Thank you very much. Um, I I remember in '95, I thought about Madonna I remember I was taking a class, at the VPA, Visual Performing Arts College in Syracuse University, and I remember writing a short, like a parody of Madonna's past marriage to Sean Penn, and just what if the two of them, what would it look like behind closed doors? And so I um I must have had some crush already on Madonna at that point. Um and then after that, um I know Madonna later on, Madonna celebrated her 40th birthday, and she appeared on Larry King Live and so forth. But somewhere in there, she, um, and they were playing, they were nostalgic. They were playing like 1980s music, and of course Madonna music. And what did I want from Madonna? I saw her as an artist, a clever artist, a creative personality. Maybe she could understand me. Um, that time I was probably thinking that people don't understand me. It's very difficult. And I told you before this feeling of being ostracized that I was going through. And um, I saw Madonna. First of all, she was very attractive. Number two, I never had a girlfriend. Number 3, I wanted to sit down with her and having a share of like minds and creativity, and I wanted kind of like a reminder, somebody around me who was artistic and clever and creative. I wanted one to have this kind of reminder, if I could talk with her, some kind of reminder that I'm not the only one who's creative and thinks outside the box, or enjoys being creative, or has these bright ideas and storytelling, and that goes along with music writing and music composition, and she was ambitious. And I saw some of these traits in this earlier person that I tried to befriend and have a relationship with. um and then the more isolated I felt, I commuted to college, and I would communicate or commute back. I would take the bus, so I I didn't live on campus, and I didn't really know any of these people. It wasn't like high school where I was familiar with a lot of these faces, and some of these faces I had known since elementary school. It wasn't like that at all. It was one class, you see these people for like maybe 2 days out of the week for a few weeks, and that's it. Um, high school seems more, no, primary school seems more um, familiar in the sense, it's day after day after day for 6 months or 9 months or whatever. Um, Day after day after day, you develop more of a familiarity with them. So I was missing that, and I felt some sense my life was over. I talked about maybe I've talked about before, after that failure, I felt my life was over, and I thought about suicide, and I I better be careful. Well, I didn't go fully through with it. Um, but I guess I latched on to Madonna, um, as somebody who, see, my fantasy, I would fantasize that she would say these kind and supporting things, terms of my creativity, and maybe she could step in to, to support me and you know, um, give me a leg up or help steer me towards establishing my own career. So that was some of it. Oh, hi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hi. Hi there. Thanks. Um, I so um I wanted from her somebody who's similar artistic, so I'm not alone. I wanted to feel I'm not alone. That's one of the things that I've always treasured when somebody says you're not alone, or one of these the strongest thoughts I can have, you're not alone. Whatever your situation is, you're not alone. There are other people going through it too. And some kinship. I felt the same way in terms of Judaism. I felt like I was the only Jew around, and I would look. I would. That was also the time I was dating. I mean, I was trying to date. I would go on these dating sites, and guess where they all were? They were Long Island. I would put in, Jewish girl and age, 5 years before me and 5 years older than me, and around my area, or within 100 miles of me, or within 200 or 300 or 500, and it would end up being Little Islip or Long Island or maybe Rochester or whatever. There were no Jews around me, and I think my life would have been a lot different, hopefully for the better, if I were living in New York City or especially in Southern California. My current girlfriend is in Southern California, and the resources I have now are really lacking. The resources she has are really lacking. And I feel like for those of you who've seen Star Wars, it feels like I'm covered up in a, like Darth Vader, like I'm covered up in a shell, and I can't break out of the shell terms of having resources. I can't, I'm like, it's like I'm locked here in my hometown, and I guess I'll never be able to have a girlfriend near me. I won't ever have a girlfriend near me. Um, I want someone Jewish. I know Judaism means a lot to me. Um, but anyway, um, back to Madonna. Um, so I wanted to feel some kind of kinship with a beautiful artistic person, and so that's what inspired this story, this screenplay project. And I didn't know what the plot would be, but I just had this impression of somebody like myself not having the celebrity status that she had, and her reputation of being of having a whole entourage and being escorted everywhere and having this privilege and da 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 da, and me lacking resources entirely, and just being from a whole different world. But if those things could be dropped, and I if she could see me as a fellow creative personality who's smart and insightful and could enlighten her, and if she could enlighten me, that was the gist. That was the very beginning gist, and that, I guess, I thought that that stemmed from this relationship that I tried to have with this earlier person. And now in recent years, I've kind of gotten over this fantasy, or let this fantasy of meeting Madonna kind of drop, because first of all, it's been nearly 30 years that I had this, well, 26, nearly 30 years that I had this screenplay project I've been working on and off, on and off. I still believe in the merit of the project. It's a really, really good story. It's very has a lot of philosophy, a lot of interesting themes, a lot of important themes for people to pick up and to think about. And it'd be a real shame if nobody gets to see it. And I'll still keep fighting for it and keep pursuing it. I think it really fits Madonna in terms of her reputation, in terms of the way the story is about somebody very famous. Hi, Megan. Megan X Roadblocks. Hi. Thank you so much. And thank you for whoever's sending me the hearts and smiling faces. Um, that really cheers me up. Thank you. Um, I I don't know if she would really appreciate it. I don't know if Madonna would um, really appreciate, the story. I hope so. All this is fantasy. My fantasy is that she would see all these themes and see how it fits. My story talks about misimpressions, misunderstandings, cloaks, like facades put over us, and not seeing our each other's true self, and cameras and so forth, and rumors and stuff like that. Oh, I'm not a new creator on YouTube. No, I'm not a new YouTube creator, but I'm um I'm developing. I don't have that big of an audience yet, but I do have about 221 or so subscribers, and I'm thankful for them. I have really exciting ideas for the channel. Um, and in terms of being a creator, just in general, um, I grew up writing like spec scripts and writing stories. I'm very much a creator. I mean, I basically can't breathe without being a creator. um, that's my life, and I wish I could have a career in it. I wish I could actually live and express myself as a creator. I've had to play different parts. I've had to be an office worker for a long time. Oh, oh, well, you'll get there too. Keep working at it, Megan. Keep working at it. Everybody starts at the beginning. I I start off with like 20 subscribers, and 20 is even big. I mean, that was huge. I don't know. Yeah. So long, Megan. Come back. I have lots of videos if you want to check them out. Thank you very much. Um, you're all really supportive. It's nice to know that, they're not just numbers, they're actual people who hopefully watch my stuff. Um, I wish you good luck, by the way, Megan. Um, so, um, I hope, I hope somebody sees my talent, sees my work, and I guess sorry, Madonna just embodies this celebrity that I want to meet, this creative person that I want to meet, to show that I'm not. Oh, going back to neurodivergency, a few people have asked me if I've ever heard of neurodivergency or known what it means, and um, I I do know what it means. I'm not adverse to the idea. I mean, open-minded. Like in some sense, it's a compliment. It explains a lot. You know, not everybody thinks the same way, and um, I found, I guess, I just think differently than a lot of people. Oh, hyperpop. Oh, um, than a lot of people. Um, so at least there's a label for it. I mean, in a positive way, at least there's some kind of label for it, like something to identify this is a thing, that there are some people who do think differently than the mainstream. So, um, what I don't like about it is the idea that it could be connected with autism and so forth. I don't see myself as autistic. I see myself as very like in tune with emotion, and I react well, and I react well with other people emotionally. I didn't take a test, but I looked into what's called the MBTI, Myers-Briggs personality, something, whatever it is, indicator. Um, anyway, 16 personality types. And I saw out of those, I latched on to ENFP personality type, which is extrovert, percep extrovert, intuition, basically ENFP, which basically means people person, relies on gut instinct, intuition, and very artistic, very big ideas, ambitious, um, gets all becomes all excited about big ideas and wants to share with people and instinctively wants to when I'm hurt instinctively wants to um, talk it out with other people or find very much find a close friend, bond closely with a with close friends, not necessarily have a lot of friends. It's more meaningful describing this ENFP type. Um, but having a few select close friends that I deeply, bond with, and I without taking any test, that describes me very well. So I identify as that. People are identifying as who knows what nowadays anyway. Might as well say I identify as being an ENFP type. Um, so I just want to find like-minded people. And have any of you been uh, told perhaps that you're neurodivergent or you've looked into it? Um, I I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, it does describe me, I guess, because I became so tired of and exhausted trying to explain what I mean to other people. And if they had the ability to find allegory or understand thematic meaning, um, or had patience, to listen so I could explain different things and so forth. Um, it, if I could find those people, or well, actually, I have found some people like that. They're just far fewer than I thought there were in the world. I thought everybody was like that, um, but sadly, maybe not. Um, being creative. That's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel. Originally, I created the channel. I called it Introspection with Jeff because I was being introspective and I wanted to understand myself better. I've always, I think, first of all, I've always had um, a clear awareness of why I do things and what I mean. When I say things, so forth. I've been careful. I mean, of course, somebody could nitpick through my entire life and find maybe a couple points or something, but I mean, over the majority, um, I'm honest with myself, I'm transparent with myself, and I'm coherent, and I'm thinking about each thing that I do. Um, so I wanted to understand myself. I was just interested in how the mind works, and I thought maybe I could talk about my experiences so that other people could feel that they're not alone. So um, that's why I called it that. And then after a while, at heart, I really want to be a filmmaker, and I've never been able to reach that so far. Being a filmmaker, I have these stories. I've been watching Barney Miller reruns on YouTube, and it's a really cleverly written show. I came up with like 20 something, 30 something different ideas for TV shows, some sitcoms, some documentary, whatever, some dramas, some action, inspired, of course, by the TV that I grew up with. And I don't really want to reveal them. I'm concerned about somebody taking my ideas, but I liked WKRP in Cincinnati and Barney Miller and Alice, and Star Trek and Twilight Zone, and I want to create shows like that. I want to create something that captures the imagination. And I had an interesting take on Men in Black. um, Making a show like I Spy, like an international intrigue show like I Spy or like James Bond, but set it in space terms where they're aliens on Earth in disguise and high tech gadgetry, and they're trying to protect Earth, even though Earth isn't aware of it. They're trying to protect Earth from various invading aliens and so forth. Like a plot of the week, kind of like CIA agents and on Earth. Those are clever ideas, and I think they're entertaining, and I hope that Hollywood, in terms of television and film, I hope that Hollywood returns to having original ideas and having exciting quality. Um, you know, I haven't seen any movies recently, so I can't comment on Masters of the Universe. I can't comment on Supergirl. Um, realistically, um, I hope that I hope that Hollywood returns to creating really exciting, not just exciting visually, like big special effects, but deep ideas. You know, a few decades ago, we had classic movies. First of all, I think we had probably had more movies coming out than we do now, but they weren't all blockbusters. There were classics, comedies. How many comedies do we really see now that, especially comedies that are well written and well constructed? Um, we had John Candy, we had Bill Murray, we had Ghostbusters. I mean, these movies that I watch movie reactions to on YouTube, and they're all reacting to a lot of them are reacting to classic movies. Of course, people's tastes are different. I understand that, but um, there are a lot of dramas. There are a lot of good dramas. Um, My Dinner with Andre just comes to mind. Tootsie comes to mind. I said Ghostbusters already. Um, Chariots of Fire, Brian's Song. I mean, what happened to movies like that? Um, I want to bring that back, and I hope it does come back, whether I'm part of it or not. Whether I'm part of it or not, I want to live in that. I want to work in that career field. It's why I got, one of my degrees was in that. And the same thing with politics. Might as well mention politics. I'm not going to get into politics, politically divisive stuff, but um, you know, I thought of former presidents, and I'm not going to mention which ones, but I just remember through the 20th century, presidents that really made a difference and really made a positive change in the world. And, you know, being brought up on Star Trek, it has a positive future, where people work together and people overcome, they don't see, there's no racism, there's no hunger, there's no war, at least on Earth, there's no war. People work together, all these different nations working together to build starships or build a better peaceful society. And that's what I want in the real world. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into politics. I wanted to make the world a better place. And now it's so divisive, it's so filled with hate that first of all, I don't have the money nor the resources to really do anything. But that's what politics should be. That's what government should be. Politics should be about discussing different ideas. No, how do we get rid of the debt, or how do we deal with this situation? How about this? No, point out, different, reasons why this won't work. Well, how about this? And energetic ideas and constructive, positive ideas. How about trying this, or how about trying that? And actual discussions and debates, to try and figure out solutions to our problems. That's what I see politics is for. And I see government as being something that can step in and defend the country, to provide for the weakest among us, to secure our society, make sure there are jobs available, make sure that um, we have um, we have a common defense, make sure, just encourage, just maybe even fuel money into funding science projects and so forth. Um, so I guess I'm feeling less whatever now. Thank you to those people who, I appreciate adding chats. It's good. It's the first time I've actually seen chats. And I just feel like resting right now. Um, I said, I guess, the rest of what I want to say. My Madonna script project is in the outline. I wrote some um, actual dialogue and scripts, and so in the scripts and so forth, and changed it, and I went back to the. I want to talk about something else. I went back to the outlining phase, and then, of course, somebody knocked at the door, and I had to deal with this huge thing that took me several months, and I had to find work, and I'm still unemployed. Wish me luck, please. There's something I found just on a website. Um, it's a remote job, paying like 53,000 or 50, which is miraculous to me. I mean, being unemployed, I just want to get myself out of this rut. Um, I believe in working diligently. I'm trustworthy and all that. But anyway, I want to get back into writing. I don't want to die without, if nothing else, this Madonna screenplay project being finished the way I want it to be, with all these brilliant ideas, all these strong, interesting, fascinating themes in it. And I really fantasize, and I hope that, just at least even for a moment or something, that Madonna sees it and reads it, and then hopefully appreciates it, and then even beyond that, maybe wants to collaborate or endorse or something. So, Madonna, if you're out there, please contact me, look me up, something, just privately do something, or her agent, or somebody, um, or Steven Spielberg, or somebody. Um, anyway, hope you're all doing well, and I guess I'll talk with you next time as soon as I figure out how to end this right now. um, I guess I just, pardon me, it's my learning curve. um, I guess I just, do I just stop, end stream, and no longer be live?